Coming to you from the Black Swan Media Studios, this is Fireside Chats, talking to the real difference makers in the world. Now, here is your host, John Crump.
Good evening, everyone out there, YouTube land, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else that I can imagine. I broadcast, Be Live, for example, and a bunch of other places, YouTube. My name is John Crump. This is Fireside Chats, and I've been out for a few days. I've had diverticulitis, which is not a fun thing to have. Trust me. It kind of sucks. John Voorhees is already out there. Yes. I am joined by Tony tonight. Tony Simon. Simon says. But before we get to that, Tony, you like coffee?
Yeah, sure. Live on it.
There's a brand called Defender Coffee. Defender Coffee right there. They make really great coffee. They're very, very two-way friendly. I mean, like GOA two-way friendly. So that's really
Nice.
good. Hot out there at Facebook. So anybody who wants some coffee, check these guys out. They are great coffee and they are great friends of the show. And it's really good stuff. So it's just defendercoffee.com. And if you want to support the show, you can either do it by going to patreon.com/John Crump or paypal.me/JohnCC. But let's get into it. I am joined by Simon Says Training, Tony Simon, 2A for Everyone, Diversity Shoot, and also the famous person from the Moms of the Man Action Twitter post, where you can see his head on a shirt.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever.
Let's talk about that.
All right. All right. If you follow Simon Says, what is it? Simon Says Train on Instagram. That is my IG page for. The second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot. Well, I go to NRA show. I finally went to SHOT Show this year, but the purpose is to find sponsors for my 2A workshop that I host in New Jersey. Also to find material for, of course, the Firearms Radio Network Gun and Gear Review podcast, and now the 2A4E podcast. I go there for work. So I don't know if any of you guys been there, but it's pretty much a week-long convention. My feet was hurting, my back was hurting, everything was sore. My wife said, hey, the bathtub in the hotel room also can be a hot tub. Man, I grabbed some soap, squirted in the tub, filled it up, got some adult beverage, and just sat there soaking. About adult beverage number 2, I thought it would be a good idea to take a selfie in the hot tub and post it on Instagram, and did one of those sore, tired, feeling cute, may delete later post. And it was funny, and friends got it, and people that follow me got it. Well, Christmas of last year, a friend contacted me, my co-host, the Gun and Gear Review podcast, and said, hey, our daughter loves you. We want to get a sticker made with your face on it and give it to her and so she can put it on something. All right, cool. Well, the minimum we can get is 20. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with 19 stickers of me? They said, let's take it to SHOT Show and give it out to people we know. Cool. I took a picture, said we're going to give these out at SHOT. Erin Paulette, if you don't know who she is, Erin Paulette is with Operation Blazing Sword, also with Pink Pistols. She made a t-shirt that says, my name is Tony Simon, welcome from the planet Lovetron, and put my face in the bubble bath on the t-shirt. And people have been buying it and stickers and everything. So I wore the shirt the last day of SHOT Show that I was there. I went to DC Project because, of course, I support the DC Project, Donna Mueller's organization that brings a woman from each state to speak to the legislators in DC. And I went there to videotape it to have content. Well, Diana knows me and says, Tony, you're the tallest, hold up a sign. So that's what I did. And there you go. And there I am holding up a sign on the floor with the DC Project ladies. All of them are in teal. And my shirt appears and it gets in the local news story in Vegas. And Shannon Watts calls the page or calls the whole news story some kind of fluff, or she insults it in some way. But 2 seconds into the news story, my shirt is like front and center. They never show my actual face, but they show the entire shirt with my face on it. Hello from the planet Lovetron. So I've just been posting it everywhere, going, even Shannon Watts supports me. People have, of course, been blasting her in her comments on Twitter, but there's my face, and people have been buying the shirt, mugs, stickers, all based on it. So it's great. Shannon Watts is pimping Second Amendment advocacy for me, 2A4E podcast, and Operation Blazing Sword, because that's where the funds are going.
Yeah, I can't
Can't
see.
find it?
No, I can't see Shannon Roth's Twitter. I think she
Oh,
accidentally blocked me.
I don't even know, because she means so nothing to me that she could block me and I don't care. Um, thanks for pimping my shirt, lady. And
Yeah,
yeah, the funds are going to be split. We're going to actually sell this up until NRA, and then I'm going to be giving our patches, which are only available either through me or you buy them from gear websites. I'll give my patch to anybody who's rocking one of my shirts at NRA. It's to get the patch out there. It's to get funding going, because it's funny, because I've started Second is for Everyone in 2015, February 2015, 5 years ago this month, out of pocket, and I've been paying out of pocket up until I think last year when my Patreon finally took off. Um, it's a lot of stress that I've been relieved of, being able to at least have some of the bills pay. And I was doing the numbers, and I think each event cost me about $800 if I count ammo, food, paying the venue, that kind of thing.
yeah. I mean,
Each
that's why I really like having you on the show, because you're like me. You do a lot of stuff out of pocket, and you do a lot of stuff for the right reasons. You're not in it for clout or anything else like that. And I think, Bob, I've been noticing a lot of people are in it for clout. But here it is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had to go to your Twitter page to pull it up.
That's awesome. You were quick. Um,
Yeah,
it's just I
yeah,
got into it. I first okay. How do I say this? The industry is small. A lot of people know each other. Um, I was working at Gun for Hire range, doing these events. Actually, doing these events out of Gun for Hire range, and it was like, man, I want to give people stuff, but it's expensive to keep buying stuff. And I saw Rob Pincus was actually speaking at a NJ2AS event, New Jersey Second Amendment Society event, about 2 hours away from my home. So I went down and saw him. This is pretty much cold. I've never seen this dude. I gave him my elevator speech, which was not polished whatsoever. And he believed in what I was doing. And he went to his, if you don't know Rob Pincus, he's a firearms trainer, personal defense network, does it around the country. Also, he's an educator and everything else. And he just went to his truck and started pulling swag out by the bucket and was like, here, give this stuff away. And he has a lot of sponsors, Springfield Armory. This is back when they didn't suck, and a lot of other companies. And he just gave me the stuff and said, approach the industry, and maybe the industry will get behind you. So every Monday on my day off, I would make cold calls for like 4 to 5 hours, just calling companies. Hey, how you doing? My name is this. This is this. Can you help us? And it took a while. And then I decided to go on the internet and just go on these Pro 2A or Second Amendment podcasts as a guest. And I ended up being a host of Gun and Gear Review podcast, um, on Self Defense Gun Stories. I was on there. I host that every 6 weeks. So it turned into something, but I'm here for the advocacy. That's some people go, why does Tony keep pushing stuff? Because that's why I'm here. My whole fight is a Second Amendment fight. That's why I went to DC for the rally. I didn't go to Richmond because I was actually trying to take the Second is for Everyone up to another level by going to SHOT Show.
yeah. Rich
Um,
fun.
Richmond was awesome. I mean, obviously, I'm from there. My brother lives in Richmond. My cousin, my families live in Richmond. I have multiple cousins there. So, yeah, going there, I could have combined with a trip home, but SHOT was at the exact same time, and that was all business. I got to run around. I meet a lot of people. I got some content, but I met presidents and owners of companies that hopefully will translate into helping us not only in 2020, but well into the future, because gun companies are starting to step up and get some gun companies are starting to step up and getting into the 2A fight. And I'm proud of them. And hopefully I can be partnering with some of them and we can get some really cool gifts to my patrons. But it can also show the gun community who's actually behind their rights and who's just looking at them as a profit, where they make money.
Yeah, Todd was talking about out in Nebraska, they have a red flag law. Ugh. New Jersey have a red flag law. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a story on New Jersey. I got some FOIA requests out. New Jersey right now, where you're from, is issuing one ERPO a day, basically.
Pretty much.
It works out to almost exactly one ERPO a day.
I
Crazy.
really want to tell you something. When you look at a state like New Jersey, you see how tyranny works, how the state uses laws and regulations to terrorize people into not participating and exercising their rights. I saw it here when I applied for my firearms ID card because you have to get. New Jersey has no Second Amendment. New Jersey has no Second Amendment in our Constitution. The way you own a gun is through exemptions in New Jersey.
Yeah.
The
And
government gives you permission.
Virginia, we're fighting a battle here, but one of the good things about Virginia is we do have legal ground to try to defeat this because we do have a Second Amendment in our Constitution. And it's a very, very strong Second Amendment. It's actually stronger the uh, than the Second Amendment in the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah. So Jersey doesn't have one, and because they don't have one, you go through exemptions. So you have to have a firearms ID card just to touch a gun in a gun store. You can't even tactically fondle a gun in a gun store without having a firearms ID card in Jersey. You need your medical background check, excuse me, mental health background check opened up. You have to give them permission to do that. You have to have two references that aren't related to you to sign off on you being able to own a firearm. And if you want to carry a firearm, you can just forget about it. There's less than 1,500 concealed carriers in the state of New Jersey with over 1 million gun owners. So
That
that's what happens in the state.
that's insane. It really is.
They use rules and regulations to terrify you and just to make it inconvenient. How's this? Digital fingerprints, right? Digital. You go to a place, you pay $65. They take your fingerprints and put them into a computer. You have to have them renewed. If it like takes 3 years since the last time you got something, you have to go and have your digital fingerprints taken again, which means you have to have an appointment and go there. I'm like, it's digital. It's on the computer. It didn't deteriorate. Why do you need them again?
Yeah, I mean, I think Virginia is in a little better shape than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. I
Hmm.
mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of BS stuff that's being passed, but I think most people basically said we're not going to obey it in 96% of the counties.
Hmm. I
Uh,
was I was proud of my home county, Halifax County, Virginia. They're now 2A sanctuary county, and that was awesome. And I actually, because of the internet, got to watch it happen on Facebook.
yeah, I mean that's amazing. I went to a lot of the different places out there, and uh, actually listened to a lot of the speeches, and people were passionate, man. I think Virginia was a wake up call for the nation. We're gonna have to eat a big shit sandwich for a couple years, but I think it woke a lot of people up. And there's like our red flag law. We got that watered down somewhat. That it only can be done by police, and they have to have two separate police officers swear that it's needed, which is still bad, but it's better than what it could be.
It's better than having anyone regardless of your relationship, call it in and pretty much have your rights taken away, your property seized. of a lot of Virginians, Virginia has motivated the country, and that actually was almost the title of my first podcast in 2020, because Virginia is again leading a revolution, because they've had enough. Virginia's made of sterner stuff, dude. I mean, going to school, the stuff they taught us in school is pretty much Virginia is the place that got it started, dude. We knuckle up with anybody. We fought all the time.
Well, we do have a dead guy on the flag.
Yeah, it's like, pay attention. This isn't just a picture. No, this is kind of our culture in VA. And when I moved up here from Virginia to New Jersey and they told me about the laws here, I was like, we wouldn't stand for that in Virginia. And people didn't believe me. And I'm like, nah, we wouldn't stand for this in Virginia. And we're showing it. We're showing it. And I'm really proud of you guys, all of you.
Yeah, we definitely are showing it. And being the director for Gun Owners of America for Virginia, I am extremely proud of the motivation I have seen. Not only that, I'm proud of how people acted at Lobby Day.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, my family lives in Richmond. My brother works in Richmond, so I was in Vegas, and my mind was in Richmond. My heart was in Richmond. You know what I mean? It was like, how bad could it get? And in my mind, how bad it could get was random people opening fire. You know what I mean? And people who aren't from Virginia trying to get out of the city, trying to get out of Richmond, trying to, 95, 360, just hitting all the highways, and just stuff spread. I mean, that was worst case scenario, because you can't trust a dude that dresses in a Klan robe and changes the laws as he sees fit. So
No,
I'm just saying.
he was the guy in blackface.
Oh, much better. Never mind.
You know what his excuse was, right? He was dressed up as Michael Jackson for Halloween.
What year was Michael Jackson last that black?
What year? When was Michael Jackson ever pictured with a Klan guy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the guy's a scumbag. It just, the more I know about politics, the more disgusted I am. And I'm like, and I don't play party politics, but I'm like, yo, bro, you in the picture, blackface, the guy in the picture, Klan robe. You're a Democrat trying to take guns away from people. I'm like, it's the same old party, bro. Not buying into it. That's why I'm a Second Amendment advocate, because you can't be trusted.
Yeah, you do know the AG has a blackface scandal too.
Yeah. And wasn't somebody in sexual assault? Like,
four rape charges against the lieutenant governor.
yeah. So I'm like, you're a party of scumbags, like 1, 2, and 3 in your.
The best part about that, it's not best. It's probably one of the worst parts about it is that one of the guys that got elected is a convicted pedophile who got caught with child porn and married his 17-year-old secretary. And they elect him.
Oh yeah.
He has a conviction for child porn and pedophilia and statutory rape.
Welcome to politics, man. As long as you have the correct letter behind your name, people will vote for you no matter what. And this is Jersey, where we have Senator Menendez, who the FBI was like, yeah, he was pretty much part of sexual tourism, having sex with underage girls in the Dominican Republic, who've since disappeared, so they can't testify. Yeah, much like Epstein, I'm sure they didn't kill themselves either.
But at Lobby Day, Nick Freitas, who's a great guy, he's a delegate, he's a true believer. I have one of his speeches on my account that was filmed by Dave Cunningham and Matt Death Cowboy, who's my producers. And he, during his speech in front of tens of thousands of gun owners, the first thing he said, and most importantly, his first line, he went through, about guns and stuff like that. He goes, and most importantly, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Nice.
The crowd went crazy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Dude,
but yeah,
that's awesome.
Bloomberg bought the state, man.
I love my home state. I love being from Virginia, but y'all dropped the ball just
Yep.
like they did in Jersey. You didn't show up for the elections. It has consequences. Now you need to ask yourself, because you've heard it your whole life. One vote doesn't count. One person's vote doesn't count. Your vote doesn't count. Now you see how much your vote actually counts. You should be angry as hell that someone lied to you that entire time and tried to take and got you to voluntarily give up your power to choose your representatives. Don't let it happen again. Everybody keeps talking about, well, in November, Virginia, the Democrats got to be swept from both houses. And I'm like, could stop. You need to vote in the primaries. You need to be talking about March. And you have to understand that people that are diehard Second Amendment people, but they're lifelong Democrats, probably aren't going to reach across the aisle and vote for a Republican. So if you're a lifelong hardcore Democrat but a Second Amendment advocate, hey, you live with that duality on your own. You need to find a pro-gun Democrat to put in office.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of hard in Virginia because if you look at who Bloomberg funded, there was pro-gun Democrats, but they got
Whoa.
knocked out in the primary because what happened was Bloomberg. If there's a website called oh my god, like VAP.org, and you can like look up who the donors are, and every Democrat that won, it was like every town, and right after every town was Michael Bloomberg, Michael Bloomberg.
And
So
that's why you have to vote. Dude, you have to show up. Bloomberg can't buy every county. Bloomberg cannot buy every seat if you show up.
well, the one thing that you have to do is to research all the candidates, not just the ones you see the TV ad for. And
True.
I think that's what happened. They just overwhelmed them with name recognition, and a lot of these guys got elected on name recognition.
Yep. It sucks. It sucks, but guess what, guys? Your civic duty doesn't take as long as it used to. Remember, this country was founded by people with maybe a third grade reading level, and they would go to the coffee houses and go to the ale houses and go to the taverns and have someone read them the paper. And they figured out who to vote for based on that. They put in work. You had to leave your farm and your business to learn more. All you have to do is tap on your phone, maybe a 15 minutes less likes on Instagram on kitten pictures, and put in a little bit of work.
Yeah, if you went back 20 years, 15 years, or whatnot, and say, hey, in 15 years, you're going to have, actually, 15 years ago, it'd be like in 3 years, you're going to have something in your pocket that's going to give you access to all known human information and be with me universal translator and real Star Trek shit.
Yeah.
No one would believe you, and yet people don't use it for the right things. They use it for like stupid shit instead of being informed.
And I
You have
have
to,
to admit, I do too.
yeah, but
But
it takes like 15 minutes a day, and you can. I mean, you can't be up on everything, but you can be up on a lot of stuff by just
yeah,
going and look at both sides of the issues too.
please do. Take in more information. Understand all communication is manipulation. So when you're watching your favorite news channel, aka your echo chamber, you're hearing what you want to hear and they're telling you what they want you to know. So go listen to a complete opposite political channel. You may
Yeah,
end up talking to your TV a lot. You may end up screaming at your TV. Just don't pull an Elvis and shoot your TV, but at least get that information in, and then maybe Google what they said to see if either side is telling the truth.
yeah, back up because there's a lot of misinformation, like the Bloomberg Super Bowl ad that they did lift their source, but the source is off by like 78% higher than what the actual thing.
You mean like the last governor of Virginia who said 32 million people die a year or a month from gun violence? What was that? A day. Oh, it was just beautiful. I was looking at that guy going, man, you're trying to push that anti-gun message so hard. You said that twice in a row and no one's checked. The reporters finally had to call him on it. Are you sure it's a day, sir?
Yeah, 30. I did a video. It's still somewhere out there on YouTube where he says that. Then it's like from the Monty Python thing when they're pushing the bodies.
Bring out your dead. That one.
Bring out your dead. Bring out
Dude, I just love the fact the cultural. This is what I'm talking about. You made a Monty Python reference. We're separated by multiple years, but guess what? We have more alike as people than people continually try to divide us over, and
Yeah.
that's what we have to. That's what we have to concentrate as a people on. The reason they want to divide you is just so they can split your votes and maintain their power. And I think we have a way around that with the internet, with being able to do what we're doing right now, and the people that are watching and listen to your podcast and just checking it out.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
power, unprecedented.
yeah. One of the things that I've noticed is I know diversity shoot and it's all different people coming together. So I'm not talking about that, but they concentrate on a lot of what makes us different.
Hmm.
So, like when they talk about diversity, when we talk about diversity, we're like, hey, we're from different backgrounds, but we have all this stuff in common. But when they talk about diversity, they talk about it as this stuff makes you different, and they want you to concentrate on what makes everyone different instead of what makes us the
And it's
same.
ridiculous because you're concentrating on maybe 3% of what makes you you. Like, dude, every one of us, depends on age, woke up on a Saturday morning to watch Saturday morning cartoons, eat the sugariest cereal you wanted, and try to get the prize in the bottom of the box. Like, like that's what we all did, regardless of your religion, regardless of anything. We all did that.
I can guarantee you, when you opened up your box of cereal, if your parents didn't open it for you, you flipped it upside down. You knew that was gonna be.
All the way to the bottom. So yeah, it's we have all that in common. We have the sayings, we have the pop culture references because we watch. Hell, at one time there was only 3 networks. So yeah, you watch the same shows. You either like Blackjack Mulligan or Hulk Hogan, or yeah, like your favorite wrestler was this guy. Your favorite cartoon was this. Your favorite
Ultimate
toy was this. What was that?
Ultimate Warrior, man. Ring for chicken the ropes.
Ricky Steamboat. I'm just saying.
Oh, Steamboat. Oh my God, I forgot about Ricky Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was awesome, man. I loved Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
So it's like we all dug the same stuff, and as a people, we grew closer and closer together, and then kind of pulled apart, and we got together again 9/11, and it seemed after that they continually tried to pull us apart again because we came together as a nation to help each other out. And then it got worse, and then Obama got elected, and it seemed like that should have been the point we went, wow, America's freaking awesome, dude, because 1968 was the last civil rights legislation, and less than what, 40 years later, we have a African American president.
Yeah, well, one thing I didn't understand about when Obama got elected, they're like, Obama got elected. Oh, that just shows you how racist America is. They don't like. It's like what?
What? I was like, it shows you how awesome America is, how people voted for him. I mean, yeah, it was the cult of personality. I mean, it was his personality brought it in because he didn't really
Yeah,
have a great track record on a national level.
well, we don't
But
have track record on a national level.
yeah, I'm saying, but I voted for the dude because I mean, as a veteran, I'm one of those dudes that look, either we fight a war and win it or we leave. And he was like, we're going to pull troops out. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm down.
How did that work out?
What was that?
How did that work out?
I didn't vote for him the second time. That's how that worked out. But I mean, it was like, I'm just saying, as a people, we came together, and there wasn't a bunch of people going around going, not my president. You know what I'm saying? And then it just got worse and worse. And then this election happened with Trump, whom I did not like um, at all. And but then it came down to what
Hillary.
choice did you have? And it
Well,
pisses me off as an American to go, that's what I had to choose between, but I had to roll with someone and I couldn't elect Satan.
yeah.
So
I worked under Hillary at the State Department, so that should tell you
Oh,
why
and believe me,
no one there
it,
voted for
in the
you.
Marine Corps, because I got out in '93, we already got word from Marines that work with her. I mean, it just because I was in Air Wing. Marine Corps Air Wing is small. I'd gotten selected to work HMX-1, which is the President's helicopter squadron. So that's small. So the community knew what kind of people these were in the Marine Corps.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I know some Secret Service agents that were agents for her, and also the Obamas, and I also know a doctor for the Obamas back then. And one thing that I thought was really interesting is they said Bill Clinton was a very nice guy. They said Obama was a very nice guy. They said Hillary Clinton was terrible, and they also said Michelle Obama was terrible.
what do you call that? I mean, we used to call it doctor's wife syndrome. The husband goes to school, works all the way through to become a doctor, and the wife acts more important than her husband, the doctor.
You know what they all really like though? The Secret Service agents that know they all really like Barbara Bush, not Barbara Bush, Laura Bush.
Okay.
They
The wife
love,
of Bush too.
yeah, Bush too, yeah. The reason why they said they liked her is because she would. Also, they said George Bush too, George W. Bush. They would know everything about their families, ages of kids. They'd be like Laura Bush would be like, "Oh, tell such and such happy birthday," knowing their kids' birthdays and stuff. And
Think
when
about what a smart tactic that is, even just for self-preservation.
yeah,
Think
yeah,
about that.
that's true. But like when they would eat, when they go down to the ranch, one of the Secret Service agents I know said that uh, when they would eat, they would be barbecuing, and they're like, "Oh, don't don't stand over there. Come eat with us." You know, they didn't make them eat separately. One thing they didn't like about Michelle Obama is that you know they couldn't walk in front of her. They had to walk behind her. Like if they were walking across the room, they had to walk so they wouldn't walk in front of her view,
Yeah,
which is insane to me. Yeah,
that's just sad. I mean, it is what it is. All people, some people get big heads about stuff.
yeah, and they were only allowed to use certain bathrooms, and I thought that was all made up. And then I talked to one of the doctors that travels with the Obama. I'm not going to name any names
Oh,
because it's still on staff, but they said the same thing. It's like, well, this person, if you get shot, this person's going to be the one that's trying to save your life, and you're going to treat them like shit.
well, one, they never thought they'd get shot. So, I mean, and they just saw these people as a necessary evil and trappings of their power. So they treated them as such. And I'm just going by what you said. I don't know these people personally, but whatever, man. I mean, I'd heard about the Clintons through the Marine Corps grapevine, and if you're saying Obamas were the same, I gotta believe you.
Oh, it wasn't Barack Obama. It
Mm-hmm.
was Michelle.
Yep. I paid no attention to any of them when they were in. Look, this is the president of the United States. He's my president. When the Clintons were in, I didn't appreciate it at all, especially when they tried to get us to go to war in East Timor. I'm just saying, most people who weren't in don't know anything about that. But right as the scandal with Monica Lewinsky was going on, all of a sudden, there was some overwhelming emergency in a place called East Timor. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm pretty much aware. Where the heck is this place that we're supposedly have to go to fight a war? And it was like between India and Sri Lanka or something like that. I'm like, what?
Like, isn't that a character from The Lion King?
Yo, bro, I'm like, what is that? Yeah, Kumana Matata. We had to go there because the Akuma Matata revolution was
No,
happening.
Timon. That was the character from Lion King.
But yeah, I just remember like, this is all a distraction. And I think that's when I
I-
became more politically aware.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who say, "Oh, I don't care about politics, whatnot." At least care at a local level.
Yeah, all politics are local. Care at your local level first, and might not give a darn about the president and their brouhaha, but you might want to figure out who the mayor is and about your town council and those kind of things, because that affects your everyday life. That affects your garbage pickup. That affects your taxes you pay, how many cops, volunteer firefighters, all that stuff that happens at your house. That's the politics that you really care about, but most people don't.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to move up into the Appalachian Mountains and live like a mountain person.
Yeah, and not
Yeah,
be bothered by any of it.
yeah, Reason did a recent study, and they found out that it's like 98.5% of Americans break at least one law a day.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to, almost.
Oh, I've heard cops say it. Like even traffic laws, they can follow you long enough to have a reason to pull you over because you will break a law. Even knowing a cop is behind you, you will violate a traffic law.
Yeah, and I mean it's all a system of control,
Yep.
and that's why they want us to.
Unarmed people don't push back as hard as armed people.
Yeah, I mean, what happened on Lobby Day in Virginia? Our governor left the freaking state.
Uh-huh.
You
Because
know,
he's a big brave dog.
yeah, he went to North Carolina. That wouldn't happen in other countries. You know,
It was funny though, because I'm like, well, one of the posts I put out on Twitter, I was like, Bacon's Rebellion, Revolutionary War, Civil War, War 1812. I got the order wrong in the last two. I was like, they still didn't declare a state of emergency and wouldn't allow you to have arms at the Capitol. But a Second Amendment rally, state of emergency, no arms allowed at the Capitol, and I'm out. He went to Mount Pilot to see Andy and everybody else down in North Carolina.
yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, there was never a state of emergency until now, which is
Never.
just crazy. One of the Democrats actually went to a safe house, but no,
And
it was all an overreaction. Everyone that was going there, no one had any intention of doing any bad things or anything. And they caught like a white supremacist in New Jersey, and they're like, "Oh, that's close to Richmond."
yeah, with the white supremacist guys, they were trying to say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, they're in New Jersey, and that's only 300 miles away from Richmond. They're probably going to Richmond.
Yeah, they were discussing it in the chat room. What you mean? Anybody that owned a gun that wasn't talking about Lobby Day? Like everyone was talking about Lobby Day. The SKS chat room was talking about Lobby Day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really awesome down there, and no one was going to do anything down there because around the Capitol, everyone was armed. You had tens of thousands of guns around the Capitol. And my friend Devin, when we were talking to an ABC reporter, they were like, "Well, aren't you worried? Don't you feel we had to go into the secure area where guns weren't allowed? So I disarmed myself to go in the secure area just to talk to people." Doing my job as a reporter, and my friend Devin was talking to a reporter from I think ABC, and they asked him, "Don't you feel safer in here?" And Devin's like, "Hell no."
Oh,
And the guy was like, "Well, why not?" He's like, "There's no guns in here." And Devin's like, "Well, let's say someone sneaks something in, gets something in, and opens fire. Yeah, people here are just gonna get shot because there's no way to fight back." He's like, "Out on the street, someone pulls out a gun and starts open firing. They're only gonna get like a single shot off before they get mowed down."
uh-huh. I'm like the assumption of way too many people is the government is 100% competent and will keep us safe.
Yeah.
No, they're not. And I mean, of course, we all know, police have no duty to protect. But think about what you're saying. You're saying government workers are going to be awesome at doing their job.
Yeah,
Dude, get out of here. That's like the opening of a joke or sarcasm. But that's what you're saying, and you're betting your life on it.
yeah. John Voorhees brings up the point where there was, I think it was MSNBC. I think they called it a white supremacist rally, and they
Yeah.
called it a white supremacist rally. You see like black people walking back, like behind them, and there was actually a gay pride flag with the the "Don't Tread on Me" thing on it flying. Like, we're the white supremacist rally. It's like,
Well, that's
walking.
because it was the best thing ever because they had to stop talking about it. What, by Wednesday they weren't talking about it anymore? Because you ran out of you couldn't show videotape of the event without just blowing out that it's a lie about being a white supremacist rally because there were people of all races there. I mean, we had people from New Jersey come down from my New Jersey 2A family,
Oh yeah,
drive down and participate.
yeah. I ran into them. People from the New Jersey Firearms Coalition.
CNJFO was there. Yep, big
Yeah,
time.
we ran into them at after the rally we left, and we ran into them at a Mission barbecue.
Of course. Hey, listen, we love to eat. I mean, that's seconds is for everyone. But it was
And
great, man. It just I was nervous. I was really nervous because I had friends and family there, and I was like, please let everything work out because Virginians aren't going to put up with it. And if you try to come down on them, I think the police were in for a surprise too. That they had people probably had better equipment than they did.
well, there was a guy there with a Barrett.
Yeah, I love that guy. I'm making a statement. You go ahead, bro, because that sucker's heavy. I ain't making
Well,
that statement.
I talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, it was a good idea until I started trying to walk around." Like, then I thought maybe it wasn't such a good idea. That guy was
Yeah,
a gun shop owner from another state.
yeah, he was. I thought he was from New York. Was he from New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the day I broke out my 1022 in my high tower armory kit that makes it look like a suppressed P90. That's what I would have bought that day. Look at me. Oh, that guy's hooked up. Nah, it's 22. It weighs 5 pounds.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Antifa put out their hit list for the event. I was on it, of course.
Awesome.
I
Made the
was
list.
a fascist.
Nice. Got a title.
Yeah, so
Ah,
we found them, and apparently I found them with my friends, and apparently Antifa, they're not like they are out in Portland there. They were there, but they didn't want to do anything. I was like, well, so what is this hit list about? And they're like, oh, we don't want to talk about it.
oh, what's up, internet tough guy?
Yeah,
I'm on.
it's like how that shows you that guns actually make you safer. Because out in Portland, they're hitting people with bike locks and
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
And out in Richmond, they were there and they were polite
Hmm.
because they know if they would have pulled out a bike lock, it would have been game over.
It's like, wow, that's a deadly weapon. And all you hear is 50 safeties go off. That's a deadly weapon. Snick, 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 snick. And
Yeah.
then you'd hear Antifa underwear fill up. What's that sound? Ooh, what's that smell?
Yeah, it was a very, very great event. And I wish you would have been there. It would have been great.
I really wanted to be, but I mean, the mission, man. I mean, I'd taken, I was
Yeah.
actually asked to speak on stage at, by Maj Toure of Black Guns Matter.
Oh,
He asked,
the
yeah,
Monday thing? Yeah.
yeah, the Unity thing on Tuesday, yeah.
Like,
And what was
yeah, I was
that?
like, yeah, he was like, "Are you coming up?" Like, yeah, I can't be there. It's like I got a little thing called having to defend my state.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I have a free hotel room at the Venetian and all this other good stuff. Everything was
Wait a
paid
minute,
for.
what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What? Free? What? No. I
Oh,
stayed in the
you remember
Airbnb.
Scott? I work for Amaland. So,
Oh, okay. You know, I finally got to meet him in person. We
which
live. The one that lives in Jersey, was it Fred?
Fred, yeah, he's the editor in chief. Yeah,
Yeah. We actually live like 10 miles from each other.
dude, yeah, you got to do stuff with us, man.
He was like, I've never met you. I'm like, I've spoken at every Second Amendment rally in the state of New Jersey. How did you never meet me? Not that I owe Tony is somebody, but I'm like, I'm on stage and I'm the fat black guy that looks like the other fat black guy that makes speeches about the Second Amendment. But
Yeah,
hey, it was great meeting him. We're gonna do stuff together. He contacted me and said, "Hey, whenever you're doing something in Jersey, let me know and we'll promote it." I thought that was awesome.
yeah.
Um,
Fred is a true believer in the Second Amendment.
and
Amaland's
that's
very libertarian.
good. I mean, because I'm not connected to any party. I really aren't. Because I don't believe any of
Yeah,
them have our rights as a priority. I think their party is a priority over the people, and we have to check them all. But
well,
yeah, Maj asked. Go ahead.
Amaland will also run stuff on both sides of issues,
Good. Make people
just
think.
to make people think. Which we got kind of a little bit of backlash recently because of that. People didn't want, it's like, well, we're running stuff on both sides of the issue. Why should we only cover one side of the issue? We got to
It,
cover.
it confuses people. They just want positive reinforcements of their own ideas. If you make people question their core values, they will hate you.
Yeah, but one thing I like about Amaland is because Brian and Fred and all these guys, they're all into that. I mean, they'll run articles which they totally disagree with, but
Wow.
it's trying to not be in an echo chamber, and that
You
scares
can't,
people, I think.
living in the echo chamber gets you with living in an echo chamber gets you blindsided by real life. That's why a lot of Democrats still can't figure out how Trump won, is because you didn't listen to anyone else. You didn't hear the pride that people took in being called deplorables. And you would have been like, uh-oh, that's not good. That's not going to work out like we thought.
Yeah, it's you're not going to shame someone. Usually, that's one thing that people get wrong is when you try to shame people who already think the media is against them. You just make them.
Yeah, all you're doing is reinforcing something they believe. Now you're
Yeah, like
making me double down.
yeah, and it does. That's why I'm more in favor of with people not having debates but having discussions. And there's a difference.
There's a difference.
And
A
I
d-
don't think people realize that. They try to debate people, and it's like, well, let's have a discussion with them instead of debating them.
well, a debate is a winning and point counterpoint. A discussion is a conversation between two human beings, and actually, when you start off trying to find your common ground first,
Active listening.
yeah, and you're not waiting for me to stop talking. You're actually listening to what I'm saying. We try to find the common ground, and then I explain to you why I feel this way, and you can explain to me why you feel your way. And it's not a right or wrong, but it's an explaining thing, and maybe you'll reach an understanding. Maybe you want. I mean, that's what I do at my events. I mean, we have, the classroom portion where we come out and we tell what we're doing here. We introduce people to Second Amendment advocacy groups.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I like that debate, but
Oh, but
conversation.
here it is. It's not about a debate, it's about a conversation at
Yeah,
my events, because half the people go to the range and shoot. After we have some food, we have some fun, we go shoot. The other half, we converse, we break it apart, we get together, we talk to each other. And now it's somebody you've hung out with for the last hour. Now we're talking. And I'm not trying to beat you over the head with it. I'm not even trying to make you pro gun. I'm just trying to let you introduce you to people that are. And now you can think about all the CNN, MSNBC stories or whatever news outlet you listen to and the narrative they're trying to push and compare it to what you're looking at and you're hearing.
yeah. Look at Dan Gross. That's what got Dan Gross over.
It's just a conversation, bro.
they had a conversation, and he's like, "Wow, these guys aren't what I thought they were."
Yeah, nobody screaming my cold dead hands, and it's like, okay, a couple do, but
And there's
whatever.
that, but it's not when you're trying to actually have a conversation. When someone, when the other side comes at you and they're not listening, and you want to make points to, but when you debate people like that, it's not about debating that person. It's about getting your facts across to people that are around.
hmm And also, we do facts hard because facts are in our favor, but you have to make that relevant to somebody. Like, what does that mean? I'm like, okay, here's what it means. Multiple Supreme Court cases says the police have no duty to protect me or my family as individuals. They're just supposed to protect society as a whole. And then I was like, I can tell you that, but let me explain what Warren versus DC was. Like, three women that were sexually assaulted, and the police didn't come in the house three different times and lied about two of them. I'm like, that's what that's about. What would you have done in that situation? Wouldn't you want an ability to protect yourself against a rapist while the police just aren't bothering because they're not believing the 911 call? And they're like, oh crap. And I'm like, yeah, it's nothing. I was like, if you can't imagine having to use a firearm, but your favorite show is Special Victims Unit, understand, then you have a hard time connecting your entertainment with reality. If most of the victims in Special Victims Unit were armed, it would just be like a call to Serve Pro and 911 to let them know what's happening. Yeah, someone broke in to try to rape me. There was a shooting. Serve Pro's on the way to clean up the mess and vacuum the stains out of my carpet. So could you get here before them? Thank you.
Yeah, have you seen that one video uh, from Colorado where the rape victim is testifying in front of the state senate, and she was like, "If I had my gun, I maybe could have stopped it."
The
And
college student that got raped near the police station on
yeah,
campus.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then the state senator was like, "Honey, I hate to tell you, but he could have used that gun against you, and it could have made the situation a lot worse. You could have carried a whistle."
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was that?
Well, I wonder, did he receive any pushback from, all the women's groups that are talking about female empowerment when you
No,
talk down to a woman?
I checked into that. Not a single, not a single article.
Uh-huh.
Nothing.
And that again is where people wait around to be told what to think.
It's just like, what are you?
The
I am alive maybe today because of a gun.
Yeah.
Um, because when I was like a baby, so we had a home invader, and my mom was home alone, and she was able to pull out that little 38 special and shoot the guy
There you
who
go.
who had a knife, and he
Hey.
broke in, and he was approaching her, and my mom told him get out, and he said, "You won't shoot me." And mom says, "Yes, I will." He said, "No, you won't." And he approached her, and he found out that she was not bluffing.
Yeah, that sucks when you have a kink in your victim selection process. Oops,
Whoops.
wrong house, wrong lady, not today. Oh, but that's great. Yeah, my mom had a situation like that, but she ended it with a shotgun, and I do not believe in that whole racking the shotgun will stop a crime
Oh,
or stop someone.
I don't want them to hear me coming.
hmm But let me explain something. My mom racked a shotgun right by the door that the person was trying to break into. Like, we had the old school when you open the window, you turn the turn, and
Oh
the louvers, and they were
yeah,
glass, and you could slip them up. Well,
where when I go to New York, where we go, the house up there, or the house up there that we go
so
to.
that's what we had on the back door. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. My dad is at work. My mom heard somebody coming through the back. Well, my dad had gotten off early and had left his key and didn't want to wake mom up. So he thought a really good idea was to try to break into the back door by mom's bedroom while
Oh,
she's alone in the house with two children. And she got right up next to that glass, and when his hand poked through, she just stood there and just racked around in the chamber. Oh, my dad got religion real quick. Oh, honey, it's me. Don't shoot. Oh, I left the key. Oh, my mom said she was so nervous she could barely put the shotgun back down because she was just shaking so much after the fact, the adrenaline hit. But she didn't point the gun at him or anything, but she did rack that slide, and he probably thought his whole world was going to come to an end instantaneously. So yeah, firearm. Well, what if it wasn't my dad though? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I had to pull my gun one time because I was about to get jumped by a bunch of people when I had my little not my oldest was 9 months old,
Oh hell no.
and it was just a random thing. I mean, they didn't know. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. They just decided, hey, let's go mess with this dude over here. And they came at me. I pulled up. I didn't fire. I pulled out my gun. I would have fired if they would have kept on going, but they all of a sudden decided to disengage and run like roaches.
Yeah, all of a sudden it wasn't a victim anymore. They weren't the top dog. Doing what I do in my regular job, which is a locksmith, for the last 26 years or so. Um, I actually had an incident where there was domestic going on while I was there. It was over. The guy had a restraining order against him. He couldn't be within so many feet of the home, like 500 or something like that. And he was calling his ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife, threatening her over the phone. And he told her he was going to kill her. He told her all kinds of things. And he said, "Who's in my house?" And she said, "No one's in your house. It's just me. I'm alone." And she says, "I can see the locksmith truck outside. You're lying to me." And he said that, and I was like, okay, my man is closer than 500 feet from this house because of the way the house is set up for him to see my vehicle. At the time, totally against New Jersey law, I carried a 1911 and I had it in my vehicle. I told the lady I had to run to my truck, grab another tool, jumped in
Yep,
the truck,
you
strapped
rat.
my, yeah, I grabbed my tool and I went back and I finished up the job. But my whole thing was not today, not in this house, and not with me here. Well, long story short, 2 weeks later, he came back. He hid in the bush beside the garage, waited for her to drive in with her best friend who was living with her because she was afraid. He slid in before she hit the garage door clicker. She, in essence, locked herself in the garage with this nut bar. He killed her and her girlfriend.
Oh, that sucks. That is.
You know how weird that was walking to my favorite dude's diner and seeing the front page and there's a house on there I recognized from 2 weeks earlier. I opened the paper up and I was like, oh my God, I changed her locks 2 weeks ago. He threatened to kill her 2 weeks ago. And fast forward, the dude was in the prison I work at. He was actually locked up in the prison I worked at. And the best friend, her brother, is the mayor of Newark.
Oh wow.
And he's anti-gun like you wouldn't believe, not knowing that pretty much if the murderer of his sister would have come in the house the day he called his ex-wife, his sister would be alive today because I would have filled it with holes.
Is that Carol Brown? Somebody wants to know.
No, no, and it's Bond, not Brown. Carol Bound. She was killed in Jersey, running around her car away from her crazy boyfriend who was going to stab her to death. And he eventually caught her and stabbed her to death and then went to his other ex-girlfriend's house and hung himself in his garage.
Yeah, I had a death threat one time by a crazy.
Whoa, what happened?
I hit the wrong button.
I was like, okay.
No,
At least I didn't.
I had a death threat from a crazy cult guy, and someone's like, "You need to get a restraining order." Like, well, the police know about it. Like, well, aren't you gonna get a restraining order? I was like, he's a crazy cult guy. I was like, what the hell is a restraining order gonna do?
Yeah, I didn't even think you could get a restraining order against someone unless you live with them.
Now you can get a protecting order
Okay.
because he made death threats towards
Okay.
him.
Hey, I am not a lawyer. I'll be staying at a Holiday Inn Express tomorrow night. So ask me then, because I'm going to Harrisburg for the Great American Outdoor Show.
Yeah, I was thinking about driving up, but I don't know.
Bro, that's a long show. I've worked that show for 5 days talking to vendors and stuff, and this year I cut it down to 2. I'm going to try to get some really cool video of some maybe PSA, Palmetto State Armory stuff, because
The new AK is sweet.
the AK, I like is the Glock thing. A lot of people, especially up here in Jersey, are in love with a pistol as a self-defense measure. And when I have first-time buyers that are wondering like what gun should you start with, I'm like, a Glock is a good all-around gun for most people, fits most hands, and it has this as an entry price, about $500. That's what you can expect to pay. Now with them, PSA coming out with their own version of a Glock. I think they call it the Dagger. I think that's what they called it. It's pretty much a Gen 3 Glock, and it's $300 MSRP. So now you cut that, and it's pretty much, they did what Ruger did to the bolt action gun business with the Ruger American. They knocked the price down from like $600-700 entry level to $299, and I think that's great. And I want to get some video of it and talk to them about it.
Yeah, Palmetto State Armory has some really good killer right now. They have a new AK out that is like a $1 AK, so you can like put like AR furniture on it,
Nice.
which is really really cool. But yeah, they're doing some incredible stuff over there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be there Thursday night, Thursday and Friday, and then I'm coming back because it's my wife's birthday on Saturday, and we're gonna do some stuff. But yeah, I think Great American Outdoor Show is a really cool show. If you're in 4 or 5 hours driving distance, I think it's worth doing. Maybe longer because NRA. It's almost like NRA.
I'm like an hour and a half away, or 2 hours.
Oh, dude, come on, man. I mean, it's
Matt,
if it's fun for you, do it. But if not, yeah, don't. But I think it's worth it, especially for gun guys, or even outdoor guys, or guys that want to take hunts because they have a large safari and hunting thing. A lot of guides there, worth. Like I've been talking to them actually to get some to be able to raffle off some hunting trips, but that's a lot to convince somebody to do.
yeah, it definitely is. But I just want to put up the dagger here.
Okay, look at that.
It was the $300 Palmetto State Armory.
That's the one with the optic. It was like $399, and they're really talking about like a $325 retail price or less for
Yeah.
optic ready, suppressor ready, pretty much Gen 3 Glock.
Yeah, I mean, I carry a Gen 3 Glock. I really like the Gen 3 Glocks, and it worked for me. So yeah, that is a great gun for anyone who wants to get in. Palmetto's doing some crazy stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really liking them, dude. Crazy stuff at great prices.
And they say the reason they're doing it is get guns in Americans' hands as a reasonable price, and they can still make money.
I believe them.
I think it's worth it. I mean, I have PSA bills here because I run classes with them. I bring in people, of course, for the diversity shoot. And when they ask, well, how much does it cost? And I say, hey, you can get into an AR-15 for total cost of $500 and you'll have everything on it. Why not? Why not? Yes, I have higher end ARs. You know what I mean? I have Adams Arms bills here that when you add all the prices up, it comes out to like $1,200-1,300.
I have a Sharp Brother build.
Oh, there you go. And
that's not exactly cheap.
No, not at all. I have what do you call it though that I'm picking up tomorrow on the way to Harrisburg. M16A2 upper from Saber Defense.
Oh my god, I love that. I want to go home so bad, so bad.
DS was it DS Guns? They have them there.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I have 100 AR, a little probably over a little bit over 100 ARs. So my
yeah,
wife won't let me get another AR because I have a little bit over. I got a 1,500 square foot gun room, and it's just ARs around.
this is
Uh,
not an AR. This is a M16 A4 build. Totally different than AR.
I know what you're saying, but my wife also knows what you're saying too, and that's the problem.
Okay, well, hey, totally understand where she's coming from, but
Yeah, you have over 100 ARs. Why do you need more ARs? I'm like, well, in case we have a home invader.
in case this coronavirus is actually the sign of the apocalypse and it's Resident Evil and Raccoon City is under siege, I
Well,
need to have a way to hand these guns out.
yeah, well, yeah, if we have to fill off the neighborhood, how the hell is the neighborhood going to be armed, man? I've seen Walking Dead. Alexandria is not far away from here.
I'm just saying, listen, I tried it out in the early 90s with Mosins and I don't. Hey, look, Rimlock. So I just got AR 15s for everyone. Everyone will be much safer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Everyone can dual wield. The Akibono style ARs.
That's how you do it. That's one of the techniques they taught us in the Marine Corps about dual wielding M16A2s. I mean, it's just a thing. My God, I dude, I can't even imagine standing there at the range and pretending to do that when I was in the Marine Corps. Like all of a sudden, the ghost of Chesty Puller would come down from the sky and smite you. Stop being stupid.
I got in trouble for doing that dual wielding AR pistols at the range.
Nice. I got a picture of me dual wielding AR pistols at the range.
Well, I had binary triggers in them.
Yeah, you should have gotten in trouble. One round a second. Welcome to an NRA range.
It was a lot more than one round a second.
Oh heck yeah!
60 rounds. The guy, why the hell would you do that? I'm like, well, I had two binary triggers. I was comparing them. And I'm like, best way to compare binary triggers is to fire them at the exact same time.
Or better yet, I had two binary triggers. What did you expect me to do? It's like,
I mean, I'll tell you one thing though. Everyone on the range stopped.
oh heck yeah! Because you had the RoboCop rate of fire going. Everybody stopped.
Yeah, I probably dumped it both. Probably in less than like 2 or 3 seconds.
Nice. Full auto is fun when you're spending other people's ammo money. I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being able to fire belt fed 50s pretty much made a Marine Corps enlistment worth it.
Yeah. I went and fired. I put a couple hundred rounds through a MP44,
Nice.
which the rounds are very expensive.
Yeah, I was doing the maths in my head, going, "That's a lot of monies."
I didn't pay for it. The rounds are very expensive. Yeah, I went out to Rifle Dynamics, and the owner of Rifle Dynamics had an MP44, which is my
Nice.
all-time favorite gun.
Yeah.
But I had a chance to fire them because they're like $100,000 for an MP44. Like
True.
this is World War II full auto MP44 transferable and everything.
They're not
So
making them anymore.
yeah, that'll make them. They haven't made them since before.
I think Spain cobbled some together after the war, but
Yeah.
that's
So
it.
I mean, I just let it rip, man.
Oh heck yeah.
And I emptied a mag, and the guy from Dynamics was like, "Here, reload, do it again." I'm like, "Okay, reload again." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, that pretty much is one of those bucket list things.
My smile on my face. I got video of it and everything
Oh
else.
dude, there's nothing. uh, Full auto brings a smile to your face unless you're on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, true. I don't want to be receiving the end of an evil, but one of the things that I was surprised about the MP44 was the rate of fire. I mean, I knew that it was slower compared to a lot of the other machine guns, but the rate of fire, it felt a lot slower than a lot of the other machine guns. We
I
had
can't.
a Red October firing full auto AKs,
Uh huh.
so it was
Well,
cool.
Jim Fuller has a bunch of those too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. Rifle Dynamics, they were an awesome host. Rifle Dynamics and X Tech hosted us, and they also hosted GOA out there,
nice.
which was they gave us like title sponsorship of Red October, which was incredible. Those two companies.
That's awesome, man. What do you call it? I mean, I'd want to be a part of something like that just to check it out. And actually, I was going to call them up, and it was going to be a cold call about just a Jersey legal AK to get it to come and be at events 6 times a year. I'm like, look, you're not going to have range days in Jersey. I know this. But how about having an event where people can come shoot your gun and I can advertise it in every shop in the state if they'll allow me to hang an advertisement up?
Yeah. The only problem with that is like they're not exactly entry level AKs.
It doesn't make any difference because some people doesn't buy entry level anything when
Oh
they
yeah,
first get into it. And that's one of the things that people had to learn. I'm like, between the amount of money people make in the New Jersey area, because it'll blow your mind, because a lot of them work either in New York City or Philadelphia and they get paid at those rates, but they live in Jersey. And then they get into a new hobby. They were like, yeah, all right, how much is this gun? I'm like, it's a $2,500 AK. Is it
yeah.
the best they make? Yeah. Okay, then I'll take it. What?
Working at Facebook, it was kind of like that. I knew some gun guys at Facebook, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Facebook pays really, really well. Um, I mean, our parking lot was full of like supercars,
Hmm.
but they a lot of them would buy like crazy guns. Like I was like, and my wife wouldn't let me do it.
No, but I mean, to me, doing this diversity shoot thing has been an eye opener because I assumed a lot of first time gun buyers would be, how much is that high point? And there's a certain percentage of those, but there's others like, well, what's the average cost? And then some people go, what's the best they make? And all of these people are ready to spend their money after coming to a couple of diversity shoots. And then you got the tactical Timmies that again have 5 ARs. You know what I mean? They have 5 ARs made, like they have a spikes, they have a BCM, um, and it just keeps going up from there. And then they switch over to get scars and things like that. So yeah, hey, here's a Rifle Dynamics AK, and they're like, okay, that'll be my next purchase.
Yeah,
Done, done.
AK is really cool because they have the adjustable gas blocks on them, which I've never seen.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Krebs Customs. I don't know if they have adjustable gas blocks, but I know they're quality guns because I've shot a couple. And I usually don't like AKs. You know, I checked out some of the Century stuff, and I just didn't like the way it felt. So
Uh,
I
so
never, no pun intended, I never pulled the trigger on an AK purchase.
yeah, yeah,
Uh
because it's a century. Because you only mess with centuries.
huh.
Uh,
So I went SKS, and I just love my SKS, and now I live in Jersey, and I can still have my SKS.
yeah. I would say if you're looking for an AK, anybody out there looking for a quality AK at a quality price, this is not a sponsor shout out or anything like that, but Lee Armory makes a quality AK at a quality price. It's like an enhanced Wasser with
Okay.
issue of the Walther's fixed. It actually comes from the same trigger factory as the Walther does, but it has like X-Tech mags. The brakes a lot better. It has like Arsenal furniture on it and stuff like that. So but it's actually cheaper than the Walther, even though it's like an enhanced Walther, which is
Wow. How'd they
crazy.
pull that off?
Because they're not Century.
Hey, Century got a bad rap for a long time, and I try to tell people, because we get questions on Gonna Get Review podcast. What's a good this? What's a good that? My friend said Century all suck. My friend said Kimber all suck, and I'm like, it takes a long time to get your name back if you put out a subpar product, and then all of a sudden, 20 years down the road, you get religion and start making good stuff.
No, their AKs still suck.
No, I'm just saying, but I mean, like Kimber, they said Kimber improved. Kimber came out and they were awesome when they first came out because I think it was done in Colorado,
Yeah,
and they were like, yeah, and they were part of, I mean, like in town with a gun school. You know what I mean? A like SDI, what do you call a gunsmithing school? So
yeah,
they just hired the best people from the gunsmithing school to hand build 1911s. And then they had some dude come in and go, hey, you can do all this cheaper out of New York State and you can cut some corners. And all of a sudden they moved to New York and just put out crappy Kimbers.
yeah. My Kimber is actually one of the old ones from Colorado.
Yeah. And supposedly they were really, really good guns. The Marine Corps MUSOC actually adopted them. Marine Corps Special Forces adopted Kimbers for a while because the Marine Corps was still using the 1911, the Special Forces. Now our newest one was made in 1945. So, yeah, they were like, yeah, we need some new ones. So that's what they did.
Yeah, Armament Axis is great. Is right. People buy top of the line stuff thinking it's the best sometimes, and sometimes it's not the best.
hmm A lot of stuff is you're paying for a name.
Freaking look at
Um,
Glock compared to like Sigs.
what compared to a Sig?
Glock.
Yeah.
I like
Mm.
Glocks better, and they're cheaper.
I like them all, and it's what you're looking for, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
there's still some stuff. Look, I mean, I'm tactically thrifty. If you want to say cheap the way I just did without insulting people, I'm tactically thrifty, and
you're cheap.
I buy used guns. So like I have CZ-75s or police trade-ins from Israel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I've ran them in classes, and they're awesome. I have a Gen 2 Glock that was police trade-in from New York City. They work just fine. I shoot them all well. I have a 357 Magnum, 686. Love it. Yes, Tony is cheap. But dude, it's like you got to learn your gun. I mean, you can love a gun, you can love a brand, you can love all Glocks. Good, get them, shoot them.
yeah. What works for you? I mean, I have Sigs and everything. I just like Glocks better than Sigs, but my Sigs are more expensive than my Glocks.
Yes, they are.
But
Um,
but the gun I carry is a Glock because it works better for me. I mean, it's not saying it's going to work better for you, but for me, it works better for me.
the Glock is lighter weight. Usually holds more bullets, depends on which one you have, and no safeties, no anything, and it's just on, and it has that consistent trigger pull. You got a double action, single action Sig, or even the double act. I mean, it's just a different feel.
Yeah. Well, look at the VP9. VP9 is cheaper than a lot of the other HKs, but the VP9 outperforms a lot of the other like HKs that are doubly more expensive. So it's not even about you know buying the top of buying the best gun from a certain manufacturer because
No,
sometimes the best gun is cheaper.
the VP9 is less expensive than the USP, but I've met one person that likes shooting the USP over VP9, like one.
That's what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think? Todd wants to know what you think of about the Ruger. Which Ruger are you talking about? The Ruger American handgun, or
Oh, and no, I'm not. Who is that? Armament and Axis. No, I am not selling my CZ75s.
Yeah.
And these are actually the 19. These are the first generation.
Oh wow. He's not.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be giving it away once I hit 1,000 subscribers. Tony's gonna be giving away one of the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube because somebody's gonna be like, "You have 11,000 on Facebook," and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, no, that's not what I mean." Tony's gonna be giving away one of his CC75s.
Not happening. Hey, somebody wrote about high points.
Yeah,
High
I
points.
have up right there, John Voorhees.
Yeah, high points are inexpensive guns.
But they
I have one right there. I got another one over there.
in your
Um,
hand. In your hand.
what was that?
Do not put it. Do not grab one.
Oh yeah, nah, I can't because this is YouTube or
You know what
whatever.
happened, right?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and we
So,
tested it. It really
oh
does.
really?
Yes.
Mm. Anyway, I went to High Point and I made my High Point pistol purchase based on the internet. I went through what everybody said and they said it was horrible. And I was like, what? And then you read all the reviews and it's the people saying it's horrible never owned one and the people that saying it was good did. And all I wanted to do was practice my handgun marksmanship skills. So I wasn't really interested in anything other than something that went bang with sights.
Yeah.
So I bought the High Point.
There you go. It goes bang
And
every time. It's heavy and it's
well,
ugly.
it's
Works.
heavy, it's ugly, it's not ergonomic. You have to tweak the feed lips. I did a review on it on Firearms Insider. And it's funny because that's how I met the owner of High Point at the Great American Outdoor Show. I walked up to him. I didn't know who he was. He was sitting there running a booth just like any other person. And I went, hey, my name is Tony, and I just did a review on your product. And these are all the things that are wrong with the High Point pistol. And he was real cool about it. And he never said who he was. And I said, but I like it because it's accurate. I've shot a group using remanufactured ammo at 100 yards with it. I shot a 5-inch group. Oh, excuse me, a hand size group. So I don't know how you measure it from here to here. With the High Point at 100 yards using remanufactured ammo. I was like, it's accurate as you can be. And I was like, and I love putting pictures of it up on the internet because it drives people crazy. And he was like, you really want to take them off? And he gave me the vaunted $100 bill grips. And this had to be 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more. And dude, I've burned the internet down with it. Oh, he wanted to talk about the what, P89, the Ruger P89?
Yeah.
I love that series of pistol. I really wish I would have bought one back in the day just to have them because they stopped making them. I think they're heavy. I think they have a long trigger pull, but it was an American gun. I mean, it was just so American. You know what I mean? And that's what I dug about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the video with the High Point where on Demolition Ranch where they try to destroy a High Point? They like, with a 50 cal and stuff, they pop out the ammo. Still
Nothing. It is a beast of a gun. I actually took it to a concealed carry class. I have a full size 40 cal High Point pistol. I don't have a carry gun that was small. This is well before I bought anything else, but I wanted to take the class because a class is a class. Knowledge is knowledge. Everybody else had shields. Everyone else had a shield or a Glock 26, and here I am with a pistol that weighs as much as some rifles. And let's just say everybody beat me clearing leather during the draw, but I outshot pretty much all of them. Tighter groups, everything else. Not that tight groups are necessary, but it showed who spent more trigger time because small guns are easy to carry, but you don't shoot them a lot because they're uncomfortable. You're not taking a 1,500 round concealed carry class with a pistol.
I mean, I shoot my Glock 19 is what I can still carry.
Yeah, but you
That's
know what I mean.
Yeah, and my Glock 43 actually I shoot a lot.
Yeah, a lot compared to the 19 because the 19 is much more comfortable.
I shoot both of them probably the same amount. Could depends
Okay.
on.
Yeah, I just haven't noticed a bunch of high round count subcompact classes.
Well, I mean, this is my philosophy. If I'm going to carry it, I'm going to be very, very comfortable with it. I'm going to train with the firearm that I'm
You
going to
have
carry
to.
and with the ammo that I'm going to carry.
You have
I
to.
did a glass class um, at a glass lab out in West Virginia at Panther Training Center, PTC,
Okay.
uh, Panther Training Center. It was an awesome class because you got to take your gun. Well, they did a couple of there was a couple of different things, but one of the classes is you got to take your gun and you got to sit in cars and fire through windshields.
Nice.
And what you learn is you can hit the same exact spot on a windshield, but two different windshields in a car, even though they're from the same manufacturer, same car, and everything, it's gonna make the bullet do two different things. So shooting through
Unpredictable. Yep.
is not exactly like you see in the movies. Sometimes the bullets sort of make it through the windshields.
Nothing, almost nothing gun related is like you see in the movies.
Yeah,
I think
but
my favorite is when people keep taking the safety off a Glock when they're pointed at people. That's the best. Click,
oh well,
click, click, click.
oh yeah, that or like you hear the hammer being pulled back on a Glock in the movie, like G.I.
Yeah.
Joe. That drove me crazy. Every time I heard the Glock, you heard the hammer go back. I'm like, there's no hammer.
I'm like, I think you can run from this person because their gun's broken. It's making a weird their Glock's broken. It's making a weird cocking noise.
Yeah. Oh, Armor and Axis wanted to talk about the dagger. We talked about that, man. You're late to the show. We both love it.
Yeah. I love the concept of it. I can't wait to dry fire it. I shot the Masada,
Oh,
IWI Masada pistol at Hollison's booth at Range Day and Media. Did
yeah.
not like it. Did not like it at all. Didn't
Uh,
like it.
IWI gave us at Red October. We're doing a event. Half the money went to veteran charity, and the other half went to GOA.
Okay, cool.
IWI donated a Masada to give away.
Didn't like the
And
trigger on it, man.
uh, get this though. The guy that won was Matt Patterson, actually from GOA.
Nice.
And it was a whole like you had to run this obstacle course and fire with an AK from different positions. And he ran it without ever firing an AK before.
Nice.
Ever.
Awesome.
He never fired an AK. And he ran it and he won the competition with a platform he's never used before.
I love it.
So
I
proud.
love it. That is awesome.
He's like, it's gonna be I'm just gonna like, I just want to donate money. He's like, I've never fired an AK before, so let me just run it. And it was like,
Dude, you gotta feel happy for a guy like that, though. I mean, we run a Minuteman Challenge shooting competition, which is just like every dude show up with 3 magazines, 200 rounds, and your gun, whatever it is you shoot, and we're gonna have some fun shooting on the clock. A friend of mine came down from NRAI LA because he was here for we had a Second Amendment conference running that weekend, and he was like, "Well, sure, I'll come down for that. I'll come over for it." He borrowed my partner's AR that he'd never shot before and actually won the competition. It was just the greatest thing. I'm like, you guys should be ashamed of yourself because this dude doesn't even own this gun. Had never shot it before today. Didn't even dry fire it before the first event, and he won it. So yeah, I love stories like that.
yeah, it is awesome. It was awesome because there's professional shooters there.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
Oh well, dude, that's saying something, man.
yeah. I mean, I was like, what the hell? Like people are gonna think this is rigged.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so he won a Masada and he won some other stuff, and it was just like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I like their products. Hopefully one day we can work with them. I was talking to Faxon because they have their ARAC 21, and they're selling that as a upper alone or a whole firearm. So hopefully we can work with them in the future and either get one or give one away to our patrons.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Have you
Oh,
worked with Canik at all?
with whom?
Canik?
No. Canik has a story, or at least not Canik, but Century when they were importing him. I went to my first NRA show, and I'm talking to the guy from Century, and he goes, "Oh, we don't sell Caniks in New Jersey." And I was like, "Well, at that time it was a 15-round magazine limitation." I was like, "All you had to do is get 15-round mags, and you have, over 1 million gun owners in New Jersey that would throw you your money for a Canik." Nah, we don't want to be bothered with it. They've since changed their mind, but that kind of just, I'm like, what kind of thinking is that? You have 1 million potential customers that are already gun owners in the state. Why would you not come into Jersey?
You got to weigh the price. I know what you're saying, but I know some of the states. I'm not sure about New Jersey, but some of the states to get your
Well,
product approved for New Jersey. Well, not for New Jersey, for like
California and
it
Massachusetts, yeah.
it runs around 500,000.
Yeah, meanwhile, in New Jersey, all you had to do is show up with a 10-round magazine and you're good. And understand, every muzzle device has to be pin and welded, regardless of, length on a semi-automatic. Your muzzle device has to be pin and welded, and you have to have a fixed buttstock. Not
Yeah,
a not an overwhelming list of things. It's all bull crap, but it's not overwhelming. But hey, leave money on the table if you want to. Other companies will get it.
yeah, yeah. It really is weird. I know the Reformation though. Aren't they Franklin Armory,
Uh huh.
which is a great company. I like those guys a lot. They've been very kind to me in the past, but they're in lawsuit with New Jersey, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
our attorney general stepped over bounds in many places and tried to sue everybody from. I didn't know they were messing with Franklin Armory.
Franklin Armory sued them.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, Gershwall don't like me at all.
Yeah, well,
He I'm the guy who broke whole magazine story about not a when they had the magazine turn in thing. No,
nobody turned one in. Yeah,
not a single magazine turn, and I FOIA them, and they tried to fight the FOIA, and then I was able to successfully beat them. So Gershwald personally does not like me. He told me he does not like me.
yeah. Nobody cares what he likes.
I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Send me a cease and desist because you suck? Get off my phone, loser. Click. That's how that conversation would have gone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's a nut bar and a weirdo, and I think he has political aspirations higher than Attorney General of the state too.
oh, he definitely does, man.
And I think it's all going to come crashing down when reality punches him in the face because it's not going to happen, Chief. It's not going to happen for you. I think you might have topped out.
Yeah, New Jersey, you got to stop suing companies for breaking New Jersey law outside of New Jersey.
Uh huh. Oh, you can't sell 80% to Jerseyans. Actually, we can because it's not a gun, dude. It's up to your citizens to follow the law, not us.
Yeah,
Your made up law means nothing. This is federal, bro.
yeah. For people wondering, new NFA, New Frontier Armory,
Yeah,
being by New Jersey.
yeah. And
So,
meanwhile, you can't have a folding stock in Jersey, but New Frontier Armory has a folding receiver, and it's
yeah,
not a stock. And I'm like, hey, New Frontier Armory, I got a proposition for you.
yeah. It's really crazy how every time they make a new law, there's a new workaround.
Of course.
Ban, uh, ban stocks on barrels under 16 inches. That's not a stock. That's an arm brace. What are you talking about?
And in New Jersey now, I gotta love it. Everything in New Jersey is semi-automatic. Let's just go ahead and say AR-15 rifle has to have a fixed stock or pinned stock. It has to have a compensator, but it cannot have a flash hider. So if your thing isn't called a flash hider, you can have it on the end of the muzzle, but it has to be pinned and welded. Unless it's the new non-NFA items that come out and they can have a barrel of like 10 and a half, 12 and a half inches, adjustable pistol brace, and a vertical grip on it, as long as the receiver says non-NFA item.
Yeah, it's not a shotgun. It's a
Uh-huh.
firearm.
It's a shotgun shell firing firearm.
It's not a suppressor. It's a solvent catcher.
Oh no, yeah, that's gonna get you locked up.
You can't have solvent catchers?
Yeah, it's a solvent catcher. All right, keep playing that game. Keep ordering your stuff. Keep ordering your stuff off wish.com and see what happens.
Oh my God! You can buy a actuator for a Glock on Wish for $20, and don't do it though. Well, I'm telling you, don't do it because they're onto that shit.
It'll be delivered by ATF agent.
People have been getting busted left and right.
And truly, again, unless you're shooting someone else's ammo, full auto ain't worth it.
Especially on a handgun.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shot Glock 18s, and they're not exactly the most controllable thing in the world.
Not at all.
It's not like we're not in Underworld here, you know.
Oh, that was my favorite documentary. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, you be a super vampire to be able to.
I thought something was wrong with the color on my television. I'm like, why is everything all dark and tinged blue? Oh, that's just the way they filmed it.
Yeah, it's all done in post. I'll take this, download it, then I'll turn it blue.
Yeah, it looked like it was all filmed through an NC Star optic. It's like, why is this blue?
Yeah, people don't realize that like movies, they correct it. Like The Matrix is green. You know.
Yeah, that's okay. I thought the first Matrix was great though.
You gonna go see the new one?
No. As far as I'm concerned, the first Matrix was it, and it was over with after that. Neo died.
Neo's back alive.
Yeah. No, Neo died in the first Matrix, and then nothing was made afterwards. Holy crap! This thing ate my battery like nobody's business on this iPad.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get ready and go. I'm gonna go to sleep, but I'm looking for the Glock actuators on Wish. You can get them on Wish.
Yeah, it's okay. I am not going to even click on it or look for it.
There was one in a pawn shop recently.
Oh,
that's selling a Glock with the switch on the back, the fun
nice.
switch.
Uh-huh.
And someone posted it. I guess they didn't realize what the hell they were selling. They were selling an unregistered machine gun. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, you're filming a felony. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, so it was like, wow. I guess the pawn shop didn't know that it had a fun switch on the back of it.
Yeah, a lot of these people aren't gun guys. They just work at a pawn shop.
But yeah, well, I guess a lot of people called them and they reported it to the ATF and they made a big post saying, "Oh, we didn't know. Sorry. Whoops." It's like, dude, I would have been like, "Yeah, I'll take that gun right there."
Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, bye. Bye.
See you guys later. All right. Go. It's getting kind of late here, and
yeah,
I wanted to do an hour, but every time I have you on,
hey, we have fun, man. I was glad to come on.
Yeah, I was gonna have a refugee on tonight who talks about the struggles in Cambodia, but he got sick. He lived through the killing fields, and he was at a camp that originally had 900 kids. He was a kid at the time, and out of the 900 kids, it was a little bit of it was like 890 some kids. All two survived. It was him and his sister.
Jesus.
And the other 800 died. And he was going to be talking about like living under the Khmer Rouge, his family members being persecuted, death camps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
but that was a different kind of socialism.
yeah, that's not American socialism.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I
But
mean, he's
yeah,
a good guy. I taught him how to shoot. But he recognizes the Second Amendment, and we weren't really going to have a talk about the Second Amendment because I think it's important sometimes to let people hear other people's stories like that.
it
Because
is.
he came from a refugee, and now he owns a dental practice.
That's why I love this country, bro.
Well,
That's
that's
why I love this country.
why I wanted to have him to come on because he was in a freaking death camp, and he goes from death camp to rich dentist.
Yeah.
He came over here as a refugee with no money. He was on government cheese, literally on government cheese and everything. And through hard work, he excelled.
You have the opportunity to become something great here. Some people don't take it, and sometimes life gives you effed up breaks, and you won't make it. So I won't throw that out there that anyone can make it,
No,
because sometimes bad luck just sucks. But to
it's
just stick to itiveness and an idea.
equal opportunity, not equal outcomes.
Yeah, there you go. 100% right. I like that. Equal opportunity, not equal outcomes.
Yeah, because you can have
Yeah.
equal opportunity by like the luck of the draw, but that's life. But but there's also something that they did a recent study, and 98% of the people die richer than uh or like 98% of the people uh will die with more money than what they were born into, like even
Oh,
with
okay. Yeah.
even with and
Well,
80% of people who are born into poverty will die out of poverty.
see, I'm planning on just going right at that level. Like I figured it's just not bad luck. It's just me budgeting like a mofo. I'm just gonna spend my last dollar and drop dead. That's it. Hey, call it even.
Oh,
I'm
there you go.
I'm gonna be a retired state worker, so I'll be bringing in money long after I'm dead. The only thing that upsets me is I'll be voting Democrat after I die. That just ticks me off.
Yeah. They're waiting for it.
I'm like, man, I vote per, just based on the person. But once I drop dead in New Jersey, yeah, I'll be voting Democrat for eternity.
Yeah, there was actually a thing where it was a county in Virginia that went Democrat, and there was more votes than people that
Yep.
lived in the town. How the hell did that happen?
I
And then,
work.
then they're like, "There's no voter fraud." What are you talking about? It's like,
Uh-huh. I worked
there's
the election polls here for the last 16 years, dude. I had people come in. My grandfather's been dead for 10 years. Why is he still in the book? I'm like, well, he didn't send any paperwork in saying he was dead, ma'am. That's why. I don't know. It's just, it's scary sometimes.
yeah, we got to fix the whole election thing. Election fraud is real, no matter what anyone says.
And it needs to be prosecuted, excuse me. It needs to
It
be prosecuted.
needs to be prosecuted, and that's why I'm for ID laws. And one of my friends was like, "Well, that's gonna adversely affect the black community." Like, they don't have driver's license, the black community.
Stop it. It's amazing to me the same people that use that as a crutch don't see how charging extra fees over firearms adversely affects the poor community.
Yeah, no, but his thing was like it affects the black community. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, I was like,
yeah.
I've never met up with someone over the age of 16 who was black who didn't have an ID. So uh,
I heard
people are.
I heard one person's story about how their grandmother didn't have an ID because no one would drive her to get. It was some BS. I'm like, dude, I'm not even buying. I'll take things that didn't happen for 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
You needed to buy cigarettes or alcohol or
Cash a check,
cash a check, go to the
anything.
library.
I'm just going if it's true because I mean we're having again a conversation, not a debate. That made your grandmother the like most unique person I ever heard of. Like,
Yeah, but
so whatever.
being a black male, what do you think when these rich white people try to speak up for you?
Oh, yeah, it's not condescending at all to have somebody think that I'm too dumb to speak for myself, so they're going to speak for me. Oh, it doesn't bother me. You negate my education and life experience so you can speak for me because I'm not bright enough to do it myself. Not at all insulted by that.
Well, I was having a passionate discussion with the girl I was dating, who was very very liberal,
Hmm.
and basically we were talking about something like uh, SAT scores, and she was trying to say that that you should get extra points for being black, and I said, "Why?" I was like, you're like you treat people like they're mentally challenged, and you need to protect them." She's like, "Well, I kind of do need to protect them, and
Mm.
and they are socially challenged." I'm like, you're saying I'm a racist because I don't think that they should get extra points because they're being black, and you're not the racist who thinks that they're mentally, socially challenged, and you need to protect them? I'm like, how the hell does that work?
Because poor kids aren't as smart as white kids.
It just,
Joe
it,
Biden is the greatest when it comes to what he really meant.
yeah, it drove me insane.
Yep.
Like, how are you how am I the racist and you're not? Come on.
Because she gets to say it, and you just sit there like, but you just said one of the most racist things ever.
That's what I pointed that out, and she was like, "It's not racist. It's just facts." I'm like, and I was just like, I was like, "You're joking, right?" And she, "Nope."
Nope, 100%. I've seen it my entire life, and
Yeah,
and sometimes I have to look at them and just point it out to them.
I call it the Avatar effect. In Avatar, the natives couldn't take care of themselves until the white guy comes down, and then he takes it and leads the revolution and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we call it the Tarzan effect. Tarzan shows up. He's raised by apes in Africa and turns out to be smarter than every black man on the continent.
the, well,
Like the
do you not realize that though? I mean,
well,
I don't get how they don't realize that it's not only racist, offensive, it's also insulting.
they don't get it because they don't see their own racism. They
But
think it's cute because they went and had chicken and waffles with their black friends, so they feel they're one of them. And I'm like, no, no, they just work with you. They just work with you, Karen. They're not really your friends.
so that's one of the things you said. She's like, I got a lot of black friends.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, I have a lot of friends, and I don't refer that are black, and I don't refer to them as a lot of my black friends.
yeah.
All my
Again,
friends, because I'm not friends with them because they're black, and I think that she had a lot of friends that were black because they were black.
yeah. She would watch Archie Bunker, All in the Family, and just be totally offended by the whole show. Meanwhile, pretty much it's her. What was it? We had a guy. I think one of my favorite lines was Archie Bunker talking about they had a guy at the docks named Black Steve. It's like, well, why do you call him Black Steve? He's like, because he's a black guy. Well, do you have a white Steve? Yeah. Well, what do you call white Steve? You call him Steve. And that was your ex, man. She had her black friends and then she had her normal people, as I'm sure she called.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that's like, I've never, you know, became friends with someone because
The
I
color of
want.
the skin.
It's like you treated them like they're a trophy or something.
One
Or
of the
it's like,
if
look at my accessory here. Here's my person. Here's my black friend.
is my black friend plus Black History Month, so I'm gonna hang out with him a lot more this month. He needs me. Um, but if you go to my social media, if you check out Simon Says Train and on
Yeah.
Instagram, and you see pictures of the diversity shoot on the Second is for Everyone Facebook page, you'll see lots of different colors, especially when I put together collage. You know what I mean? The layout option, and it's like it's very difficult for me because I'm like, all right, these are the volunteers for my event. And then I have to go through because I'm trying to give people of different races in one picture. But that's not how I think about my friends and the people that volunteer. It's like, okay, now I have to go through it going, okay, who's what? You know what I mean? Like, who's what when it comes to the optic?
Well, I was like, well, I'm gonna hang out with my friend Reggie, and first time she met my friend Reggie, because she's heard me talk to him a lot, and I talked a lot about him and stuff. So she met him, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me he's black." I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why would I?
What was the relevance of it? it
Like, what?
and it's and some of them, and I just say some of them because some people don't know. Oh, I don't see color. That means you do.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm proud of you.
yeah, I don't see color. How's this? What I would say is, well, your race is irrelevant. It's not that I don't see it. It just has really very little input into how I feel about you.
Yeah, but she actually said, "I'm proud of you." I'm like,
Oh,
"You're proud of me? Why? Because you have minority friends." Like, what the hell?
what if my minority friends are the biggest a-holes you ever met? Are you still proud
Oh,
of me?
are you effing that woke?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, woke. Dude, I remember getting into fights, arguments, intense discussions in black bookstores about being woke. And I'm like, anytime you're using the term woke, you probably aren't.
Yeah, it's just like you do the stuff because you because I mean, if you do the stuff because you want to be woke, that's you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it
Yeah,
for anyone
not at all.
else.
And you're not woke.
Uh, the way I do it, I view everyone as an individual. I don't view I don't view them as, oh well, they get extra points because they're a minority, and I need to have a minority in my wedding.
I'd really like to know how they prioritize. Like, is there a point system? Like, if you have a black friend, but if it's a black friend that's a homosexual, is it
you
more points?
get double, get double bonus.
Yeah, I'm like, he has a lot of problems. He's in a wheelchair, he's gay, and he's a minority. I win.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. I mean, that relationship didn't last too. I mean, it did last a long time, but it wasn't exactly the smoothest relationship.
What happened? You break up? You broke up when you saw her get her clan robe from the cleaners? What happened?
What that one? Okay, he was extremely rich. I'm like, when I say rich, I'm not talking about like well off rich. I'm talking about I got an apartment in Paris. I got an apartment in Hawaii.
Yeah,
I got
wealthy.
I got a house in DC.
Yeah, rich
I
is one thing, wealthy's another thing. She was wealthy.
yeah. You know, like I go do these. Well, like one of the things she wanted me to go to this charity dinner with her and our mom and dad. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll pay for you." I'm like, "I'll pay for myself." It's like, "How much is it?" 30,000.
You'll pay for it, no problem. See you there.
I was like, "I'm not going." She's like, "What do you mean you're not going?" I was like, "Just donate the 30,000. I'm not going to a $30,000 plate dinner." It's just, I'm not gonna have your parents pay for that because I'm
See?
not getting 30.
And that's when you needed a black friend. I'll go, girl. You be the coolest chick at the party. Let's roll.
Yeah, it'd be like the handbag accessory.
I'd love to go to a $30,000 plate dinner. I'm taking plates with me. Like
So
physically, I'm walking out with plates like they were worth $30,000.
you better get to keep the plates.
hmm
You
Can't take me
better-
anywhere. All right, man. Let me get off because I got a
yeah.
4 o'clock wake up and then I'm driving to Harris.
All right, man. Well, you enjoyed the trip here. Sorry for keeping you late. I think are you frozen? Okay, I think Tony is frozen, or he has the most iconic thing in the world. The most iconic pose in the world. Let me go ahead and throw up his banners here. You can give him a follow on Twitter at Second for Everyone. Check out diversityshoot.com. Uh, I'm telling you, man, you guys got to check out Defender Coffee. It's great coffee, man.
Whoa. I'm like, wait a minute. I came in on this coffee discussion.
I
Yeah.
threw up your Twitter at Second for Everyone and Diversity Shoot.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So much, and like our hour kind of ran over. Like,
all right, cool.
Double. But it usually does when you come on, man.
Exactly double. So yeah, everything, all my contact information and how to donate on diversityshoot.com. So
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
In the description. Thanks so much for coming on, Tony. And if I can do anything for you, I want to write an article about you for AMOLAM. Got to get around to it. So set up a time so we can talk about that.
No problem. See you later.
All right.
Have
later.
a good night, everyone.
Good night. All right. That was Tony. Tony from Diversity Shoot. You can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Real John Crump. If you want to check out something cool, go to GOA. What is it? va-goa.com group, facebook.com/group/GOA VA GOA. I don't know. Just go to Real John Crump. I'll post it there. Buy some t-shirts at Black Swan Tactical. You want to support me? Patreon.com/John Crump. I'm trying to keep from fame /. You can always join the conversation at youtube.com/John Crump 2, or if you want to do a one-time donation, paypal.me/John CC. Check out our Second Amendment sanctuary ordinance at gunownersaction.org. Always join VCDL. Not really affiliated with them, but they're a great organization. Hold My Guns is another good organization for everyone. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. And I would like to say, hold on. Did you give my phone number on? No, I do not have your phone number on Marin and Access. I need that because I need to have you on my podcast. I am back. We're gonna be doing more. Sorry, I've been gone for a few days. Diverticulitis will do that to you. It's not. And I hit the wrong button again. But for everyone out there, thank you so much for watching. We will be back maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I gotta check. I don't know my own damn schedule. The hell. But that would be it. And yeah. Bye.
You've been watching Fireside Chats with John Crump, a Black Swan Media Group production. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tune in every week for a conversation with the difference makers in the world.